Hello friend and welcome back to Safe at Homestead. I am so glad to see you again. Today I wanted to chat with you about something that a lot of people are finally jumping into. Maybe you're jumping into it, the chicken keeping game. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the basic things you need for your chickens. I'm going to show you my personal setup, and hopefully this can help you to either decide that you want to do it, or if you've already decided, give you some simple steps to follow. All right, I have a cheat sheet here with some notes because I want to make sure I give you everything that you need and not forget anything. And by the way, if you guys hear some horrible wind going on, it's because there's some horrible wind going on. We are expecting 60-mile-an-hour winds all day today, and I can't get around it. I just have to make this video despite the winds. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that you need to give your chicks when you bring them home is a place to live, a safe place to live for the first few weeks of their life. And that is called a brooder. A brooder is something that you can buy, but you can also just make something simple for them that is inexpensive. So it's a safe place to bring them to, and a place where you will provide heat, food, and water for them. The warmth that you're going to give your chickens can be from a heat plate. There are different types of heat to give your chicken. There is something that's also called a brooder, but it's a heat brooder, and it's a little square device that acts kind of like a mama hen, and the chicks can run under it. I did not get that. I just got the traditional or typical heat lamp for my chickens. A lot of people don't like the heat lamp, but I am never using a heat lamp in a place where I am not in control of it. Like I would never put a heat lamp in my chicken coop and leave that unattended all night while I sleep. That is a recipe for danger. So I just keep it indoors with them when they are very small. And you guys are gonna get a chance to see that setup. You also want to provide food and water. So you want to get a feeder for chicks, a chick feeder, and it's a thing with some little holes where they can access their food. And you want to get a waterer. There are chick waterers, and people get those and they put little pebbles, rocks, or marbles in it because it's very easy for a very young chick to fall in and possibly drown. So to avoid that, I don't use a chick feeder. I use a quail feeder because quail is much smaller birds, and so the feeder is much smaller. The chicks can access water easily, but they can never fall in. They're too big, to fit into that vessel. Okay, so the other thing that you need is you need feed. So you want to get chick feed. You don't want to compromise and give them your friend's chicken feed, or if someone says, oh, you can just give them table scraps. No, you don't want to do that for your chicks. Chicks need a specific diet. You don't want to give them regular chicken food, which may have too much calcium for them to deal with, because regular chickens are laying eggs and need a lot of calcium, right? For example. So you want to make sure you get a chick feed for them. And then when it comes to, if you get really young chickens coming in, like you have a day-old chick or a 2-day-old chick, I like to just put paper towels on the bottom of the brooder the first day or two till they get their footing and they are stable walking, because things like shredded up newspaper or just plain newspaper, it can get slippery with their poop and they can just slide out like this, and that can cause damage to their joints. So I wait a couple of days if my chickens are really young before I put them on anything else. The paper towels kind of gives them a little bit of a grip, plus it's very absorbent of the poop. Okay, so let's see, we have their housing, their brooder, the place that they will live. We have the light to keep them warm, or if you choose to get a brooder plate. We have their bedding, which by the way I use pine shavings, that's my favorite. We have their feeder, we have their waterer, we have their food, and then we're going to bring them in and introduce them to their new home. Let's see, let's make sure I don't have anything here that I'm going to forget. Make sure you keep the brooder in a place where there's no drafts. So if you have a drafty window, or if it's summertime when you have your chicks, when you're bringing your chicks and you have air conditioner on or fans blowing, you don't want to have them anywhere near that so that they don't get any of that draft. All right, so let's jump right into showing you how I set up for my chickens and where they will be living for the next few weeks. So this is my indoor setup for keeping chicks. This is just a very large Rubbermaid tub. We cut out the middle part of the cover and wired on some chicken wire, keep it in place, keep my kitty out, and I'm going to be putting their water in there, water with some electrolytes. Moving chicks is always a stressful thing, so we want to give them some electrolytes. And over here I'm going to put their feed. This is their light that I use for them, and it's attached right now to an ivy pole. My husband got this from work. They were throwing it out, so we've been using it for holding the light, although today I want the light to be a lot closer than the ivy pole can be, so I'm going to attach it right here to the lip of this table so it'll be closer to the chicks. They need to be about 95 degrees for their first week of life. So that's what I'm about to do. One of these little packets of electrolytes should be dissolved in a gallon of water. I'm only using a quart jar for their feeder, so I'm gonna just put in about a quarter of this little packet. I'm just guesstimating. It's not exact. And this is their crumble, their feed. I just got that put in there. I'm gonna put this little topper on there. Actually, it's the bottom. I'm going to screw that on and put everything back in the brooder for them. All right, so their water and their food is ready for them, and I just realized that I did not bring, I need to bring in a couple of bricks or something, because I don't like to put this directly on the bottom of the brooder because it's too low. They kick up the pine shavings into it and they just generally make a mess, so I like to raise this up a little bit. It is snowing right now, but I'm gonna have to go out and find some bricks or something to raise these up before I put it in. Whew. It's actually sleeting now, so I got 3 bricks. They're kind of damp. Well, actually they're wet. I dried them off the best I could, and I'm going to add those to the brooder. Let me show you how. So I just moved some of the shavings away so I can make this kind of flat. I've never had this many chicks at once. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to get both water and feed in here so that they can all access at the same time, or most of them anyway. So I put the water over there and the feeder here. That way they can, some of them can come around this way. Same here, some of them can come around this way. Normally I would have both of them on this end, but I think we're going to try this and see what happens. So here they are. I have had such a hard time getting chicks this time around. Everybody wants chickens, and so I keep missing out. Either that, or they don't have a breed that I want, or they only have straight run, which means that it's male and female mixed together, and I don't want to risk getting a male. And so I've tried a few times. Oh, look at this little one here. So the 4 dark ones are from Tractor Supply. And then there's a little feed store in our area. I stopped by on the way home and they had a few other breeds, so I got 2 more. I didn't want to get 4 of the same kind, but the minimum you can get is 4 at Tractor Supply. And I didn't want to not get anything. I didn't want to miss out because one town nearby, they got 100 chicks yesterday and they're all gone. And the Tractor Supply that I went to today, last week, they got 300 chicks and they were gone. They got them on Thursday, I think, and Saturday they were gone. So I just went ahead and got these. So these dark ones here, I believe, are Black Plymouth Rocks. And I'm not 100% sure, so I think I have to call over there and make sure that I know what I have. And I'm just gonna dip his little beak in the water so he knows where the water is, and I'll do that with all of them. This one here is a black astrolorp, and I love these. I have one. And this one is a California white. I've never heard of them, but yeah, I do want another barred rock. That's what I was looking for, and nobody had them. But the people that had these two, the lady that hatches chicks for them, has barred rocks in her incubator right now, so I reserved a couple. All right, let me get them in, and then I'll come back to you. So they learn pretty fast. Where their water is. See that little one, that gray one? The gray ones and the darker ones are all the same breed. They're just a couple different shades. Oops. See if you can see them drinking. And they'll figure out where the food is. There he goes. And usually once one finds it, the others will figure it out. So I wanted a total of 7 more chicks. I got 6. So when that lady, hopefully I should have asked when they are expecting the barred rocks, but I think it'll be okay to add them to this batch if they're not too much younger. I may end up with 19 chickens. I wanted 18, but we'll see. Alright, that's it. It's so easy to get chicks and set them up. Oh, the only other thing that I'm going to show you is the lighting setup. And so let me do that. Okay, so the light is in this corner. Something else that I like to do when I get chicks is to put the box they came in the brooder. And they like it. They came home in that, and they like to get in there and they sleep in there. So I leave them in there for a little bit, a few days. And here's the light, and we want to keep this at least 95 degrees. So let me get my thermometer and check. You see how everybody's gathering under the light? That's because they're a little bit cold, and so they want to warm up. I'm not sure about that California white. She's all by herself over there. Looks like she might be sleeping. Hold on. Okay, so let's check the temperature right here. It's 71. I just put the light on, so it should warm up here pretty quickly. And if it's too hot, then I will raise. Right now I have it just clamped to this table. If it's too hot, I will raise it. I will use the the IV stand that I showed you. And every week we just raise it up a little bit more and a little bit more. 5 degrees cooler every week. Right now you can tell they're cold. See how they're gathered there? I might put that little yellow one in with them just to make sure that she's okay. Alright, so that is my indoor setup. I will share a little bit more with you as they get older, and also of course when I move them out. Usually I have them in here until I move them into a dog kennel or something out in the what do you call it, in the run. But this time around I'm gonna try something a little bit different. Alright, you guys, just listen to the wind. It's banging something around outside. I don't know what. And I don't think I'm going to go check. Okay, so that was very simple and very easy to set up. And best of all, it was very inexpensive. So I hope that you guys got some tips from that. If you're thinking about getting chickens, comment below and let me know. Let me know the breeds you're interested in, because I'm always interested in learning about different breeds of chickens. So it's definitely a small thing that you can do, but it can impact you and your family in a big way. And you guys know I'm all about the small things, right? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or a family member. And please subscribe, especially if you want to follow these girls on their journey to their first egg. Bye.